Hey guys, alright, war number 12 of season 23. This war is going to be all over the place. I'll talk about all the different cool things that happened. But, alright, so in section 1, I'm going to be on path 9. This is the hazard shift path. I've got a Mr. Sinister and then a Vision Aarkus. I was just checking to see if maybe I could see if that Aarkus was an R3 in his profile, but we'll get there anyway. And then in section 2, I've got Path 3, Chitinous Thorns, Silver Surfer. Good placement for him, but usually not going to get a kill. I'm just going to use Claire for both of those. And then I've got 2 mini-bosses, ManThing and Nova. So I'm bringing in Quake, of course. I'm going to be using her for a few fights. And then White Magneto, I'll explain why. And then my rank 5 Claire Voyant, because my rank 3 was on defense this war. My rank 3 is Unawakened. My rank 5 is a SIG 200, and that's actually going to come into play. So I'm excited to at least be able to show you guys what her SIG can be valuable for. But, alright, so you guys know if you've been watching this series, or I'm sorry, this season, my videos on this season, I've really struggled with just a lot of things, just timing, execution, focus, all kinds of different stuff. So Quake is not really a great attacking option for somebody who's had a lot of struggles, but there I'm able to finish without losing any health, which is super cool. Alright, so I'm throwing on the White Magneto pre-fight here. This is a rank 3, as you guys can see, and I'm using just a rank 5. Now the White Magneto pre-fight is going to completely bypass his signature ability, which is Tenacity. So anytime he would shrug a stun debuff because of his signature ability, White Magneto instead, because I'm using a hero champ, is just going to convert that into a passive which he's not able to shrug off. Now the reason that that's really helpful on this node in particular is because against Stubborn, which benefits Vision Aarkus on defense, you can get yourself back into a corner, and using Claire Voyant, you really don't want to attack him for the first 9 seconds of the fight while he's in Incinerate phase. Alright, so here I'm going to go ahead and throw my SP2, and then I'm just going to throw an SP3 right away, hoping that this is going to kill him just to save me some potions, because I lost about 7% of my health from a combination of block damage and I did take a little bit of Incinerate damage, you guys can see there. But yeah, overall, this fight went really well. I've taken this fight a lot of times in the past, and I've never used the White Magneto pre-fight or guidance on it. And that was the most health that I had ever finished that matchup with. So I think that that's going to be a good strategy going forward. Okay, now here, I do like this placement for Silver Surfer. I do want to clarify that I don't think that Silver Surfer is a good defender. But he's also not really a good attacker, so, you know, if you've got him, most people that have him ranked are primarily going to be using him for prestige, and if you've got him, you might as well place him, because he can be a little bit tricky, I guess, at some point, if you screw up or something. I don't really know, but anyway, I do like this placement for him, because you know, any champ that can either randomly or not permanently trigger an armor buff, I think is going to be good placement here. You know, like Venom, he randomly gets armor, stuff like that. He's pretty good. Because, you know, if you're using a non-bleed immune champ like Corvus, you think that you're going to be able to get through it, and then they randomly get an armor, or in Silver Surfer's case, he throws a heavier in SP1 while he's got his armor, while he's cycling through his passive armor, or his dormant armor buff. Then you could accidentally take a ton of bleed damage. So, but obviously with Claire it doesn't matter. I just want to stay in my bleed curse the entire fight, obviously just in case. Now, when I inflict buff immunity with my SP2, I can absolutely switch to my other curses if I wanted to. Really the only other beneficial one, in my opinion, is the Incinerate one, because it does so much more damage with the SP2. You get that burst energy damage, which is great. But anyway, it doesn't matter, frankly, because this fight is about as basic as it comes in Tier 1 War. So I am trying to avoid that SP2 just because in the past I've gotten wrecked by it. Not in war, but like during the Summoner Showdown, I was you know, not able to fully evade it every single time, and when it did hit, it got me pretty good. So anyway, I was just being super cautious. All right, so on this fight, this one does not have chitinous thorns. It does have explosive personalities, you guys can see, but explosive personality is kind of going to help me. I am running Mystic Dispersion, I believe, so when I hit into his block, he just gains an armor buff that I can then nullify with my Claire Voyant charges, those little mystical charges underneath my health bar. As long as I have at least one of those, I'll be able to nullify a buff on the next basic attack that I use. So that can just kind of keep me topped off with power. So I think on this node, I mean, if you're really trying to, you know, this is always diversity placement regardless, but if you're really trying to, like, cause issues, I think an anti-mystic defender would be a better placement here. But again, I mean, the reason that this is Taskmaster is placed here is just for diversity. I don't think that they expect to get any kills from Taskmaster on this node or probably anywhere. But it is a little bit slower of a fight than Silver Surfer without class advantage, and he's not proccing a ton of buffs unless I hit into his block, so yeah. Alright, and it's almost over here. There's really just nothing to say about this fight. I obviously don't want to get hit by a special, but I am going to go for the killing blow here with the SP2. And yeah, alright, so 70%. I'm going to have to heal her up a little bit, but that's not a huge deal. There I heal her because I've got that Nova fight. Alright, so I am going to be boosting fairly big here because of the Nova fight. I am 0% worried about this ManThing fight. And what I tell every one of my people, or our battle group members, is anytime they're quaking ManThing, I think that she's the best option for him, is play him full parry style, don't dex, because if you dex and you proc that precision buff on contact, meaning even if he hits you into your block, he has a % chance, I believe it's a 5% chance, to nullify any buffs that you have on you through that contact. And when he does that, he's going to gain Mystic Dispersion if he was placed with Mystic Dispersion, and he'll also convert that buff into a Postural. And once that Postural expires, he'll also gain Mystic Dispersion. So you can get yourself into trouble against ManThing if you're, you know, not playing parry style. And you guys are going to see, for some reason, and trust me, I've taken this guy so many times in war, I've never died, but you guys see dexterity there. I've got the precision buff on me. Here's what I was thinking, and this is so dumb, but in the moment, again, so I had a plan, and in the moment, I'm thinking, you know what? I can actually save myself some block damage by, that was just a mistake. I can save myself some block damage by dexing in between aftershock cycles. I just need to make sure that I get contact before an aftershock cycle ends so that he doesn't go indestructible from stubborn, and I can get all that aftershock damage. But you guys can see here, I am clearly dexing, and at this point I'm like, oh yeah, this was a genius idea. It's totally stupid. I've gotten really lucky to this point. He hasn't nullified my precision buff yet through that contact. It is a pretty low chance, but he's got basically a 1 in 20 chance, one time out of 20 contacts, and there he goes. He nullifies it. It gives him Mystic Dispersion. There he gets another Mystic Dispersion. I'm still quaking, and he is going to throw this SP1 right at me. And yeah, now I'm in deep shit because I'm down to 1%. He hits into my block, and he kills me. So multiple mistakes there. Obviously, the biggest mistake is just do not dex using Quake against ManThing. Honestly, the safest option is just to take off dex. He's so easy to parry style. His heavy is just a one-swipe heavy. So you can easily automatically evade that through charging your heavy and all that stuff. Anyway, just really dumb decision making. Alright, so this fight is actually really, really cool. I don't play this well, and I make a lot of mistakes, and I take one really ill-advised risk at the end of the fight, which, yeah, which you guys will see becomes kind of an issue. Alright, so because he's stun immune here and I can't stun him, you're gonna basically every time get backed into the corner. And, you know, with Stubborn, that just means that he's going to be indestructible. So here I need to find an opening so that I can get back to my Incinerate Curse or get to the Incinerate Curse. There I was late to punish. And at this point, I'm just going to stay in my Poison Curse because it's switched back to Poison. And I'm going to block this to get Indestructible off. Alright, it's not looking great in this fight right now. And here I'm going to make a mistake. Oh no, I switched over. Alright, so that was good. Alright, so I'm going to throw my SP3. Now, because she's awakened, this is going to start basically, I can't remember what it's called, but her like cheat death mechanic. So that little passive little finger there, as long as that is active, I cannot die. And if I were to die or go to 0% or 1 health, then I'm going to actually get regen from that. Now, I make a really bad decision by throwing that SP2. I thought that it was going to kill him. It just inflicted a bunch of poisons on myself, which brought me down to 0% health. But then, obviously, her Sig ability came into play and kept me alive long enough that I was able to finish that fight. So pretty cool. I would love to get my rank 3 Claire Awakened. But that's the war, guys. Here are the war cards. We've got PWF with the silver. We've got Brim with the gold and Chelazé with a platinum card. They had awesome seasons. I'm excited to get those season cards out. And then, because it's after War 12, we also have the Paragon cards for the second half of the season. These are awarded to one person of each battle group, selected by officers, and this is essentially, these are team players that just really, really helped and were a positive influence on the battle group. So we've got BG, Brian, in BG1. We've got Amir in BG2 and Carl in BG3. Thanks, guys, for watching. Leave a like and a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.